First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A first down throw for Young. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now Young, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Check, 47. Come on.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Out there now the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Touchdown, New Orleans. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. So they gave up the field goal, but boom, they get it right back. Don't even worry about getting their offense on the field. They return it on the kickoff.
So I see your 3 points.
And raise you.
And raise you 6. Double it up, coming right back at them. And if that's going to be the trade all game long, someone's going to be very happy with the end result.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down now, it's Sanders. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Ready? 47. Mike's 47. Let's go, D. That's it. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day. Hey, check Mike.
Here's Young from the shotgun. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second and very short, Young nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Young on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Down. 10 too soft. Let's get that hard. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Leo. Check. He's checking. Crash.
Now the first carry for Bush. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
No chance.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 24-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Jump. Rock it. Check 15. Check. Slam.
And a give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Looking for Colston, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Topper. Get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
50, plant.
Now a handoff looking right. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Watch the twins.
80 weapons.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Set. 60 or.
You're not ready. You're not ready. Jim.
Yep.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Check it back. Check it back.
Gone.
What is the line? Squeeze. You can't block me. You can't block me. Check 43.
Check now.
A give. This is Bush. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Ready.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
6-6, pull it high.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Saints 14, Lions 10.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. I'm telling you, they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Mike,
now Young. And he's got his man on the out route. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
set, ready. 70 ending. Here we go. Zoom, zoom. Tight, watch left. Tight, tight, watch left. Everyone got 4 down.
On 3rd down, Young trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups to check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Shift. He's crossing. He's checking crack.
This is Bush. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. 33 yards that time. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And now look at him go. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll go again with Sanders. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now a first down throw for Young. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Detroit! A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. The interception on the last drive proved costly, led to the tying score, so 17 all as they come up on a first down. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go, set. 60 or.
Try to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Roll out. 2.
Now back to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch out.
Hey, lock it.
Slam.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
I don't think you got it, son.
Look at me. Go. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Watch the safety creep. Hatch it.
They'll run it with Bush. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At the 42-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you. Hey, stand up.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for the first with Bush. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Wilmots on for the field goal. A 54-yard.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise, this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The face mask moves them all the way out past the 40 now for first down. They'll run. It's Sanders. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Go to base. Watch a slap. Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
Looking to throw. Young. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Called that a very strong gain of 24. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Let's make these babies cry.
On 2nd and 7, Young. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Check 52.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here we go. 10 Lobo.
3 down, 3 down. Check 27. Eyes on 27.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Check hot route. Hot. Tight dog.
Look. Squeeze.
He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Not a wolf. In your face.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 45 on 2nd down, Young. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. And even 40 yards. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Sanders. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Rock it. Single. Undercross.
2nd down and inches. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
60 out long.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Go.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Hard.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. Good move at the 30. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Another run here with Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. They set the goal beginning of the year, hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they respond as a team, because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from